morning. It's Thursday, November 7th, 2024. And we're going to plant garlic finally. It usually goes in, the beginning, middle of October. That way you get plenty of growth before the winter hits and the growth slows down. But we finally had a lot of rain, a couple of inches. Kind of slow rain for a couple days, which was great. So I pulled off the black weed mat that I had for my strawberry patch here, but found out that the deer were going to eat my strawberries, so I moved them inside the deer fence, which is over there. So this has been covered with a silage tarp and the weed mat with holes all put in it, for strawberries, so they were too far away for garlic. So I'm just going to have to mulch on top of this, but you can see there's no weeds in there compared to just over here. It's solid grass and weeds. And we have a whole head of garlic right here. And I just grab one of those and take the biggest cloves out of it, which is, most of them, but then don't plant the little cloves, just use those for cooking. Because the bigger the clove, the bigger the head of garlic. And here we have some organic pellets for fertilizer. So we're going to put a few of those in there with the garlic and then bury it 1 to 2 inches deep. Okay, now that we got our garlic in position and spaced correctly, I'm doing mine at 8 to 10 inches just because I've got plenty of space, but I do have a lot of garlic to plant too. And you want to plant the bigger ones because that means bigger garlic. But, you can plant the smaller ones, it just won't be as your best garlic. The bigger cloves. Now that everything's in position, we can take a rake and rake some loose dirt over the top to cover it 1 to 2 inches. And then after a rain, come out and make sure it didn't wash all the light stuff off the top, or you might have to add another inch of soil is what I'm saying. If you have a heavy rain, which we might. Okay, we now have 4 20-foot rows of garlic spaced at 8 to 10 inches between each plant, each garlic clove, and a foot between each row. What we haven't done yet is sprinkle a little fertilizer in there. And I have an organic fertilizer. It's in pellets. It has things like chicken manure and rabbit manure and this and that. And, they measure the amount of nitrogen in there, which is 8%. So we're going to sprinkle this in here, and it'll do that garlic a lot of good. Okay, so we sprinkled some fertilizer in here. You can come in close and see, I'm not putting it like right around the garlic because, as everybody's probably heard, too much fertilizer isn't a good thing, but I just have it spaced between the garlic because the roots will go out and get it. Once it rains, that'll blend in with the soil. We're going to cover this up with 1 to 2 inches of soil. Well, there's an old saying that says, once you plant garlic, you always have garlic. And if you look, you can see that green right near the shovel right there. That is where garlic came up through the strawberry holes, because I first planted garlic here years ago. And since the strawberries weren't here, they popped up through the holes. And you can see how it multiplies, but if you don't divide it, it'll never get big. But it's kind of cool. It's a whole clump of garlic, and if you had one of these, you could actually start your own garlic, because you could plant, just small garlic that's already started to grow here, and the next year you plant it again and it'll get bigger and bigger if you give it the right nutrients, which it loves compost and just like every other plant. Okay, it's finished. We have 4 rows of garlic, 20 feet long. What I did is I put these markers. It's basically aluminum wire that doesn't rust. And that's exactly where I planted the garlic. Just to the edge of it, I planted these wires. Because I'm going to come in here in between the rows and take that weed mat and just fold it in half, because it's going to have holes in it, right? And use that as a walkway so you don't get mud on your feet. But this garlic will come up in about 2 weeks. You'll see like an inch of garlic above the soil, because we're going to have some warm weather.